Hello, everyone. My name is Adrian Tomulet, and for the past, I don't know, couple of years, 2, 3 years, I've been working inside of the prop trading industry on prop trading infrastructure from trade copying, risk engines, OMS, broker integrations, and all that sort of stuff. And I've had a lot of discussions with either prop trading firm owners or with trading people, and I've seen both sides of the story really, and I understand both sides of the story from very specific points of view. And really, I've seen what happens behind the scenes, and it's not that the system's broken, but there's a lot of issues here that I really think we haven't found a solution to yet. So, what this is going to be a podcast about a brain dump of what I think, and this is just personal opinion, but what I think about the prop trading industry. What are the major issues that are arising from both sides of the table? And really, it's just going to be me brain dumping. So no pitching, no fluff, no absolutely nothing. It's just me thinking out loud. All right, so let's get into it. Every firm has rules. Rules like never trade through a news event, rules like maximum drawdown, rules like maximum position size, rules like adjusting position sizes. But unfortunately, those rules, they're just rules, really. They're not really a system that can foresee what's actually going on with a trader. That's just restrictions for the traders to try to find the best traders. But what really makes the best traders? Is it just following rules, or is it something more? And I've had a really interesting conversation with someone on LinkedIn about this. And he brought up some fantastic points, and it's just, I wanted to go a little bit further into this. So, for example, you've got two traders, right? The first trader, what they do is they follow the rules, everything's to par, and then they go on a small losing streak, and then the losing streak just gets a little bit more and a little bit more, and then they win a little bit more, and then it starts going down a little bit, and they're really deviating from what their playbook actually says, what their marketing plan, not marketing plan, what their actual plan, trading plan actually says, right? So it's a slight deviation. It's nothing too big or too risky, or it's it's not breaking any rules. So that's the first type of trader. And that keeps going on and keeps going on. And the second type of trader is a trader that goes in, follows their rules, follows the rules of the prop trading firm, follows their trading plan to the T, and then they go in and start losing and then just have one big blowout. Like they either blow the account or they get close to blowing the account. But then they go back to following their rules and consistently start making their money back. So these two type of traders with following rules and the rules that are in place by prop trading firms, they're both fine, right? But as a risk manager, you want to follow, you want to start copying traders, right? Because that's the whole idea of the prop trading firm. It's not just get payout, get accounts, get people to buy accounts, fail accounts, and then with the money you pay the payouts, and then you get a little bit off the top, right? That's not the idea. The idea is to actually find good traders and actually copy them in the live market. That's the whole idea of prop trading firms. It's not just a let's see how much we can churn out of these people, and then we can grab our top line. Is let's find some really good traders that we can copy, and then we can take this to the stars. That's where I think this should be heading. That's the base idea of the prop trading firms is, but we have to find talent. So with these two types of traders, you could say that they're both talented, right? But there's a very nuanced difference here, because the guy that, or the girl that went off and started slowly deviating from the trading plan and just kept deviating and kept deviating ends up being more of an issue and more of a liability to the prop trading firm and to being copied than the guy or the girl that is just does one big blowout thing, and because they get pissed, like everyone gets pissed when you're losing, right? You can't just be a rock, be fantastic, and everyone would be winning in the market, but you just can't be a rock, right? So the guy that just, or the girl that does this big blowout and then comes back to the norm, uh, that guy is a little bit more valuable, or the girl. I and coming up, finding this actual deviation is what's really important, because you have to look at so many factors. So many factors. It's not just the position size. It's not just news events. It's actually what they've been trading. So if they trade an instrument and then they switch to another instrument, or if they trade a certain position size, that's fine. We're able to see that, and they increase a little bit. That we're able to find out, but you can't find out like the average hold time, where instead of, you know, putting their targets at a certain place, they try to grab more out of the market because they've just previously lost. That's the sort of stuff that you really have to get into, and you have to create a system as a prop trading firm to find these little things so you know the optimum time to actually copy a trader. Because that's the thing. If the guy that goes on tilt and stays on tilt for a long time, that guy is a lot more dangerous than the person that goes on tilt one or two trades and then goes back to the norm. And once they've completed their tilting phase, that is the most optimal time to actually copy someone. So let's just say even the second trader, the one that did a whole big blowout for one or two trades, let's just say they blow an account, they're still a high quality trader, because once they come back in and they start going back to their trading plan and back to normal and consistently just winning and winning and winning, you would be able to, as a prop trading firm, you would be able to start copying them even from the get-go. It's not just copying them when they're actually winning or when they've gotten to the funded phase. You're actually able to, from past experience, you're able to see like, hey, this guy's a good trader, or this girl is a good trader, and start copying them right for the get-go. Can you imagine the amount of value that this could bring to a prop trading firm? It would really be ridiculous. And we really have to start designing systems that the prop trading firms can use so that they're not flying blind. It's not just like, oh, they're following the rules, that's fine. We actually have to find the exact things that send people on tilt, or at least find people that go on tilt and come back, because those are the most important people, and find it when people are in tilt to make sure that you don't copy them while they're deviating. That's really the most important thing for prop trading firms, I would say. The second really important conversation that was brought up by the LinkedIn post this week was a post about copy trading. Now, I'm not talking about the normal copy trading, and this is what I want to re-emphasize here. It's not the normal copy trading where a client has 5 accounts and they copy the same strategy or the same system through the 5 accounts, or someone that's running a strategy that they purchased off a company, and that strategy actually works. Those people are fine, because the problem isn't, well, not problem, but the idea isn't that these people want to game the system. What they want to do is they actually want to get ahead and start becoming proper prop trading clients, right? Start actually making money out of this business. Treat it like a business. Treat it like a job. Treat it like their life depended on it. What I was actually referring to is the prop trading firm copy rings. So the way these things operate, there's like 5 or 10 traders, and they're all running the same system. And what they do is they get the maximum number of accounts that they can for a prop trading firm, or multiple prop trading firms, not just one. And they run the same strategy, and they know this strategy is going to work, and not necessarily win on every single account. But when I say this strategy is going to work, so like they could be running a full stop loss up until their trailing drawdown, for example, meaning they're using their trailing drawdown as a stop loss, and they're trying to get out of the market $1 or $200. This is for futures, but and for forex, I think. The problem here is that these guys are running these strategies so that they can get payouts as much as possible out of the prop trading firms, and when they get moved to live, meaning that they've exhausted all the possibilities of getting payouts from these prop trading firms, they either blow the account or ignore it altogether or something like stuff like that. And these are people that are colluding, 5 to 10 people, and it's not necessarily even colluding. It might just be someone roping in their mother and creating an account, or roping in a friend, or roping in just some random person to create an account because they know they can game the system. They've got it figured out, right? That's what I was referring to when I was talking about copy trading. Now that we've clarified this, I want to say why we think this is a bad idea. And when I say we, is someone else actually had a post about this exact same thing around the exact same time. And that person is very deep into the prop trading industry as well. And it's when there's multiple people talking about the same thing, it's obviously a problem. And it's obviously a big enough problem that it merits being talked about. So, in my view of why these are bad, so what we've seen with prop trading firms recently is a prop trading firm gets in, they start getting clients, they pay out everyone, everything's working to par, and then they get targeted by a fraud ring. And these people start extracting money out of the prop trading firm, meaning they get to a point where they just keep getting money out of it. And they're not necessarily winning on every single account, because it's not necessarily a winning strategy. It's literally a gaming of the system. So they can have 3 accounts that are losing and 1 account that's winning. So or even worse, I've seen, if 1 account wins all the way for a month, it can cover like 30 different losing accounts, right? So they're not really wanting to become good traders. They're just gaming the system, right? So where this becomes problematic is that these people come in and they start gaming the system, and they start taking out 10, 20, 30, 50, $100,000 out of a single prop trading firm. And obviously they do this across multiple prop trading firms, not just the one. And that's where it gets really bad and interesting at the same time, because prop trading firms, they normally have investors, because no one has $2-3 million to start a prop trading firm, right? Just out of the blue. So the people with the idea go to the investors, and then the investors start asking questions like, hey, why are you doing so much in payouts? What's going on? And when you build your business model, you build it on what normal trader behavior is, right? Meaning there's a high percentage of people that lose money. there's a small percentage that actually win and are worth copying, and you're trying to find the best traders out there. That's just the reality of it. Now, when these prop trading firm rings come in, they take so much money out of your payouts that it just kind of steals money from the people that actually want to do something. And why I say this, right? So they take a lot of money out of the prop trading firm, and this is what we've seen again from talking with diverse prop trading firms and diverse people in support for prop trading firms. And what ends up happening is the prop trading firm owners get their back against the wall because they're bleeding out money and they don't understand why. And they start doing some shady stuff, like denying payouts that shouldn't be denied, like telling people that they're colluding with someone when they're not actually colluding with someone. And it just becomes this whole thing where prop trading firms are denying payouts that should have been paid out. Then clients get annoyed and they just say, like, these guys are trying to scam us. And the prop trading firms are saying, well, these guys are trying to scam us. And it's always just a, no, the traders are scamming us. No, the prop trading firms are scamming us. When essentially it's just one small group of people that are just destabilizing the entire system. And why this really, 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 really annoys me is because there's a lot of traders out there that just want to make a living out of this. They want to actually be good traders. They want to get funded. They want to use this as a lifestyle because they want to spend more time with family. They don't want to work a 9 to 5. There's a myriad of reasons why people get into trading. Myriad. And these prop trading firm rings come in, they bleed money out of the prop trading firm. The prop trading firm starts reacting because you can't do anything else. You're reacting because you've got no system to actually find these things. And you start reacting, you start changing your rules, getting more drastic. The traders start losing confidence because, well, you've changed your rules. But the problem is that rule changes don't actually affect the fraud rings. That's the problem here. The problem is that it only affects the good traders, the people that are actually trying to do something. That's why I say copy trading is bad. Now, let's take a step back because everyone keeps demonizing the prop trading firms themselves because, they're crooked. And very rightly so, some are very crooked. The idea is trying to understand the whole principle as to why they get crooked because no one, well, I can't say no one, but most people aren't badly intentioned when they start something. So let's go back to why I think the prop trading firms are actually very good for traders these days. So when I started trading about 13 years ago, I blew 3 accounts of my own live money. And they were not small accounts because back then the minimum account size was $5,000 to $10,000 if you actually wanted to trade properly. And that was a very humbling learning experience for me. Now, today, you can start trading and you can start getting evaluated, and there's actually rules to it. Back when I started, you had to make your own rules. And the only rule that you started off with was don't blow your account. Yeah, that never works, right? Because when you start going on tilt, it just, yeah. So why I think it's really good that prop trading firms do exist, because with a few $100s, you can actually start learning how to trade with someone else's money. Granted, it's simulation, but you actually have a potential reward going in. So once you actually start becoming good, the winnings that you would be getting from that $300 would be directly equivalent of you having a $10,000 account and winning that amount every month, right? So let's just say a prop trading firm pays you out, I don't know, $1,500 or $1,000 every 2 weeks. That's directly equivalent to what you would be making if you put $10,000 of your own money into an account and started trading. That's the upside part of it, which is just the most fantastic thing. The downside part of it is you're not risking any money, because if you had your $10,000 in an account and you lose some of that money, well, that directly affects you. That you lose that money. If you're trading with a prop trading firm and you spend $300 and you start losing that money, well, you've got $2,500 worth of drawdown left. So you're still playing with house money, right? You're still playing with house money, and that is why I think it's a good idea to have these prop trading firms in place. What really is the issue is we have to find these fraud rings, and we have to shut these down and take them out of the equation, because they're bleeding money out and they're creating a problem that can only be solved with tightening rules. And when someone's back against the wall, they start becoming scammy and doing a whole bunch of stuff that not necessarily illegal, but morally compromising. Like one of the conversations, and why this has sparked, and this is something that really irks me, and it's been irking me for a long time. And what really sparked this conversation was that someone on LinkedIn posted that they're a funded trader. They're a really good guy, AI data engineer, FTMO funded trader. And he was close to actually getting paid out on a prop trading firm. And he's built his own trade copier, but he was really close to getting his consistency target. And then his account started having losing trades, and he knew that they were not placed by him. And then he looked inside of his logs, inside of his trade copier, and he saw that the orders were actually coming from outside, meaning the only other people with his credentials was the prop trading firm. Now, that really sucks, because this is a prop trading firm that probably would have done very well, but it just sounds like they had their back against the wall, and some risk manager out there just thought, well, let's not let this guy go to a payout. And when he brought it up with the prop trading firm, he said the prop trading firm shut down his accounts. Now that's not right. That's not right at all. And the saddest part about this, the very saddest part about this, is that his response is, he just said, I'm not sour about it. It's just simply part of the industry. It should not be part of the industry. You're trying to do something good for yourself and for others. Why taint it with doing scammy stuff? Instead of building a system that finds these people and puts a stop to the bad actors, you're putting a stop to the good people? Really? That's what really irks me. That's what really irks me, because this is a fantastic idea that through good execution could help a lot of people out and keep people trading and change a lot of people's lives, not just bleed money into fraud rings. Now, most firms actually think they have fraud detection, like, oh, let's match a trade within 5 seconds. So if client A takes a trade and then client B takes another trade within 5 seconds, on the same size, on the same instrument, blah blah blah. Um, they must be colluding, but it's so much deeper than that. Like the fraud rings kind of found that out 2 seconds into it and realized that if they staggered their entries, if they staggered their exits, if they staggered position size, hell, even if they traded cross instrument like from ES to micros or stuff like that, prop trading firms wouldn't find them out. So they're still out there doing what they do best, bleeding money out of prop trading firms, and then the prop trading firms are just sitting there going, no, we have a system in place to find these people. But the system shouldn't be looking at just metrics. It should be looking at patterns. Average hold time would be one. The actual target that they take out, the actual stop placement. There are so many factors. And of course, dealing with a lot of factors is really a lot. But a system needs to be built where you can find these people and just put a stop to it. Now, what the worst thing about this is, and there are prop trading firms that are finding these prop trading rings, the fraud rings. But the problem is everyone's working in isolation. So firm A finds a prop firm fraud ring. That's fine. They shut these guys down. The fraud ring moves from prop firm A to prop firm B. Now the problem is there's a whole lot of laws in place that the fraud rings don't actually have to deal with, but prop trading firms do have to deal with. And you can't actually share information across prop trading firms because that would just be colluding, and it's a really, really gray area when you're getting into sharing of information, and you got to find a way to do it in such a way that it doesn't compromise security and it doesn't compromise GDPR, for example, that sort of stuff. So in my view, and again, this is really just about me talking about my view, as everyone's pointing fingers. The prop trading firms are pointing fingers at the traders, saying that the traders are crooked and they're just trying to game the system. The traders are pointing fingers at the prop trading firms because the prop trading firms are crooked and they're just trying to game the system and just trying to screw people over out of their money. And the worst thing about this is, like, good traders actually start becoming those sorts of people that game the system because they can't trust that they will get payouts. They can't trust that once they've been moved to live, they actually get payouts. They actually start making money. That's the saddest thing about it. So the chain reaction is really simple. Fraud, desperate firms, traders get screwed. And the problem, the actual fire is the traders and the firms war against each other. But the actual match that started the fire are the fraud rings that are bleeding money out of everyone. And money that should be going to good traders. Money that should be going to good people and hardworking people that are actually trying to do something with their lives. Not just trying to find the next quick buck. That's very unfortunate. That's it for this week. I was actually shooting for 15 minutes, but I guess I rambled on a little bit longer. I'm Adrian Tomulet, and this was the prop operating system. See you guys next week, where we're going to dive into more issues that we talk about on LinkedIn. Thanks so much for listening and or watching. Bye.